This is the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream. Tonight, we are here for TNA Impact. There's a great card going down. We got the Righteous Deletion match. The world title is on the line. The two final matches in the first round of the Knockouts Television title tournament is going down all tonight. So let's talk about it. Like I said, this is the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream. It is Thursday. That means TNA Impact is on tonight. We got Righteous Deletion. We got the world title on the line. Moose and Elijah are teaming up to take on AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian. We got the tournament still going on in the Knockouts division for the new title. But I am not here alone. If you don't know who I am Anthony by Elegance, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world, the man who puts the T in TNA, Ringsider Anthony. I am Big Nick, and you and I were talking about this briefly before we went live of how tonight's card feels stacked. Like there's a lot of, positivity, all the news cycles swimming back the positive direction for TNA, like you were talking about, of just came off of last week was their highest rated episode.
Yes, last week was their highest rated episode since 2018, and that was pre-access TV. That was actually when they were on Pop TV, and they reached, I think it was 286,000 viewers last week. So it's crazy how when it comes to TNA, when the bad news is out there, it spreads like wildfire. But when there's some good news out there, no one really talks about it. But that's the big news coming out for TNA this week.
Well, and then there was also the news that we saw earlier this week on Tuesday of Mike Santana, and they've officially called him Mike Santana. I know everyone was all hot and bothered and worried. I couldn't hear the music when we're live, but as soon as I saw, the video package and everything, I was like, so Mike Santana's here. It was right. It was really cool to see him there, but it wasn't that like, oh my God, what are you doing in the Impact Zone? Like we kind of expected you to kind of show up, my guy.
Yeah, it's crazy because I didn't see it live, but I went back and watched the clip, and he didn't get the biggest reception I thought he was going to get, like he had in previous, times in NXT. Like he got a big pop, he got a big reception, and he didn't get that. He did get a reception, obviously, but it just wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. But I was concerned. Now, I'm not a big dude that complains about name changes, but I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned that they were going to change his name because he's already been introduced to the NXT universe, the WWE universe, as Mike Santana. So why change it now that he's under contract? That was my big thing.
Yeah, no, I saw that going around a lot, and we will say hi to everybody in the chat. Shout out, happy Thursdays all the way around. But I did see that going around a lot of everybody. Oh, they didn't say his name. You know when that happens in NXT, when they don't say his name, that means they're going to change his name. I was like, they gave him his music. They gave him his video package of he's already wrestled, like you said, in NXT as Mike Santana and has gotten better reactions, maybe because it was announced versus unannounced. We'll see. And he already owns the trademark to Mike Santana. Like the closest that would have changed if they just called him Santana, which I still would have disliked, but no, I was never afraid they weren't going to call him Mike Santana because I was surprised even that he just didn't jump to the main roster. That was the rumor going around that he was going to go to the main roster, not to NXT.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking to me because it seemed like they really wanted, well, from the rumors, I don't want to say they really wanted, but from the rumors, said that he was going to be on the main roster immediately. And no, he's in NXT. So we'll see kind of where we go from here. I do feel they're going to change his music like they did with Jordan Grace. I think the reason why they didn't do it with Joe Hendry is because that's Joe Hendry's song. Like he sings it but when it comes to Jordan Grace and Mike Santana, I do feel that music is going to change soon.
I get your concern. I feel like they are going into this of we know who Mike Santana is. There's a reason why we wanted to sign Mike Santana because of who Mike Santana is. So we're going to let Mike Santana be who Mike Santana is. And I also randomly side note, he's a TNA guy. I saw the AW fans try and claim Mike Santana now that, oh, WWE signed another ex-AW guy. I was like, no, he's a TNA guy. You can have that. No, he's a TNA guy more than he'll ever be an AEW guy. But
yeah, absolutely.
TNA even put out a tweet out supporting him showing up in NXT.
Oh yeah, and I'm happy about that. That they, supporting him moving on to NXT. I think the majority of the people that let their contracts expire with TNA, they always leave on a good note. I felt like Jordan Grace left on a good note. Obviously, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, they even brought Joe Hendry back. I think it was Genesis this year for a match. It was a triple threat match with him, Moose, and Cedric Alexander, and he was under contract with WWE at that time. So, I feel like that was good on TNA's part to send out a congratulations to Mike Santana.
Oh, absolutely. And it shows that, like you said, he left on good standings and everything. But if you want to be on good standings with us, folks, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Should we say hi to the peoples and everything out there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All the TNA Onax or something. What's the TNA fan base name? The Impactors, because you got the sickos, you got the Fed stands and all that.
The TNA faithfuls. The TNA faithfuls.
The TNA faithful?
Yeah. That's what they call themselves.
Doesn't roll off the tongue quite the same as, the sickos or anything. But speaking of rolling off the tongue, the top three from last night of Spaz, Damien, and Bash, all up in the dynamites out there, all up in the chat. So that's how you get your points. The more you super chat, the more you super sticker. The more you get in the chat, the more you get points. We try and click on as many chat messages as we can. And how funny, because you haven't been on the past couple of streams, but we've started seeing the gems on the YouTubes actually show up on StreamYard now. And then go into StreamYard for today's stream, and there's the whole notification of you can now see YouTube gems live, and it's like, yeah, we noticed for the past couple of days of why everyone's like, oh, now they show up. Oh, exactly. Now you acknowledge them. It's like because we didn't see them before.
Right. You're a couple of days behind StreamYard.
Right. We got you. We do this enough. We got you. We'll let you know the problems before they're the problems.
Right.
But do you want to click away or do you want me to swing?
I can click away. So we'll start up at the top with Zach, who was here, I think at 7 a.m. this morning. National Vanilla Ice Cream Day, Big Nick and Anthony and friends. I didn't know they had a day for vanilla ice cream.
There's a day for anything and everything.
At this point,
year of like national like peach cobbler day like that. Zach's always good on letting us know. He's like the advent calendar we didn't ask for, but I love you.
Right. What up, Ken? Today I found out Dragon Lee Dralistico and Roosh are actually brothers. I didn't know that. That's news to me. So we found out something together today, Ken. What's up?
Just going on the Lucha conversations, because who's Gravity's brother? And chat, you can let me know in the comments or whatever, because I know isn't he like Bandito's brother or something? Like there's a lot of the familial ties amongst the Luchas right now. But yes. Moving on.
No, I'm lost because I don't know who are siblings other than Ray Phoenix and Penta. What's up, Destin? Breaking news: AJ Lee's SummerSlam return is no longer unlikely. Maybe you got that from the newest season of Unreal. I don't know. We'll see. Jason down here says time to talk about free agency. Anthony and Nick, we are getting close. We got teasers from like Zelina Vega and things of that sort. So we definitely got to talk about that tonight. Definitely got to talk about that. Sean says, what up? Gonna miss some of the show. Son has football showcase tonight, and I've got a lot of recording to do. Well, thank you for dropping by anyway. We appreciate it. What's up, Damien? Looking forward to Casey Navarro versus Nick Nimitz. Definitely looking forward to that and looking forward to that righteous deletion match. Ronan says,
I got a funny theory when it comes to free agents and with that match when we get to speak about that, because there's a spooky group that, might be available on the market. And we know TNA likes to do spooky really well. And we're getting closer and closer to that, spooky season.
Ooh, we could definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
What's up, Ronan? Almost time to cross the line with TNA. Yep, I'm excited for tonight's episode. What's up,
That's what the
Mega?
TNA fan base should be, the habitual line steppers. They cross the line. You are like Charlie Murphy, you are a habitual line stepper.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Instead of the TNA faithfuls, I like that a lot better. What's up, Clay? What's up, Big Nick? How are you, Anthony? And how are you, Nick? We are doing well tonight. Just sitting here excited for tonight's show. There's another Anthony in the chat. What up, Anthony Slade? What up, Jack the OTC? Did I get everybody? Am I missing a couple of them?
Not Jack.
Jake. See, I can't tell the difference between Jack and Jake. I'm bad at
Jack and Jake went up the hill to fetch Joe.
I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad at that. What's up, Bonkers? Nick Nimitz for the win. I think me and Nick both believe he's retaining the title tonight. I don't think anything else.
But I still would really like it be cool to see Casey winning, and shout out Casey who actually, shared the shout out and everything. So yeah, I think that Casey Navarro is a guy that at one point is going to be a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I think that there's kind of these new the pillars, since everybody likes the pillars, because some of the pillars are leaving AEW, but like a Trey Miguel, a Casey Navarro, a Ricky Sosa, maybe even, because Leon might be out. Those are guys that I think are going to start to be the guys that take over the top of the card for TNA.
Oh yeah, and I think and they've already started kind of pushing them too. Definitely with Casey Navarro, they've pushed him heavy. Ricky Sosa, really, since he's been back after the visa issues, they've been pushing him heavily. So yeah, they're definitely starting to push the younger guys in the main event scene. Trey Miguel should be on his way back in the next set of taping. So yeah, it's looking good for TNA.
Absolutely, but Dro, what up? Lady B. NXT be wild. He get to NXT become Mike Montana. You get the best of both worlds.
Chilling out, take it slow.
Yeah, that you didn't say that was going to be a thing that popped up tonight, but here we're just, what other wrestling channel can you get that kind of entertainment on, folks? Who was top 3, Big Nick? You can see her right there. Spaz, Damien, and Bash. Destin, I see you. Spaz down here with a $10 super chat. Listen to me, you man. I got all kind of love for this community. Bunch of you helped me get past the 1900 mark today. Shout out, my guy Spaz. I appreciate you all, and to the boys for letting me shamelessly push myself. Absolutely. Well, I did catch part of you and Jake. Shout out Jake DeMarco, Don DeMarco out there too as well. But we y'all were having to see about, we might be sending a cease and desist order over a Yum Yum button or something around there. You had to ask permission for it. The Yum Yums are freely aflow, and in TNA's actually the Knockouts divisions definitely got their share of the Yum Yums too.
Yeah, they definitely do, especially somebody that just joined Order 4. And Mila Moore.
Mila Moore. Mila Moore. Yeah, how are you doing? But absolutely mega. Listen, I don't make the numbers. YouTube makes the numbers, and I don't even make the graphics to determine the numbers. So don't be mad at me. Actually, who you should be mad at, and this is going to be probably the worst way to transition to it and everything like that. But I did want to take a shout out moment, as the show should be starting any minute here, of happy birthday to KJ. KJ's birthday is today and everything like that. So make sure you show the man some love on the Twitters, on the Instagrams, on the Discords. And if you're here tomorrow, make sure you blow up the chat if you're here, if he's watching right now and everything. But yeah, shout out to the Mr. Every Night Delight, KJ White. Happy birthday, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm kicking off already with Elias. One of his cousins is kicking off to sing happy birthday to him. Elias coming to sing happy birthday.
So it sounds like we may be, looks like we're maybe kicking off with that big tag team match between Moose, Elijah, and Frankie Kazarian and AJ Francis.
Yeah, but we go right from no intro package, anything like that, to so they're just ripping off Seven Nation Army here. And how do you feel about his glowy Night Bright guitar?
I don't mind it, actually. I kind of like it. It's a little different than most guitars, so I kind of like it there.
It looks like a Halloween prop. beard Halloween.
It does look like a Halloween prop.
As
As
I'm
we
getting
got Moose coming out.
Yes, folks, you can sync up with us as I try and click through and catch up on this chat here real quick. As Moose is coming out, but Kyle, Anthony, and Nick, do you think they changed Jordan Grace's theme because it was similar to Bronze? Yes. Even though she had a siren sound for a while, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And no doubt about it. That's why they changed her theme.
Ryan, good evening, Nick and Nick Casey versus Nick Moose, Elijah versus AJ Francis and Frankie Kaz. Yes, those are things. Michael, what's up, fellas? Watching Liverpool, UK for the first time. Hope everyone was doing well. Well, shout out anybody that's tuning in for the first time. Shout out anyone that's been tuning in for a long time. Sound like a radio DJ.
Right. We're here all the time.
We're like, I was going to go into the Boondocks line of, we're like 7-Eleven. We may not be doing business, but we're always open. King, what up? It will be a brilliant show, hopefully. I'm super intrigued by the righteous deletion. We've talked about it. We've thought about it for a while of when they were going to have a match on the compound. We're finally going to see the cinematic masterpiece of the righteous and the Hardy Boys, the broken Hardy Boys.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit before stream too. This was originally announced as a tag team championship match on last week's Impact. And then during the week, apparently Jeff and Matt made a video and said it wasn't for the titles. So they backtracked it. So it's not for the titles tonight. I'm still excited, but I want to know the reason why the titles are not on.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I feel like this is the end between these two, right? This is the end.
This is the end, my friend.
Why not have the titles on the line? Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But I don't know.
Let us know who you got between Elijah and Moose taking on AJ and Kazarian. I had to look at our graphic to remember who AJ Francis' tag team partner was.
When is Destination X? I know it's in November. I believe it's around November 15th-ish, but it is in November. That's when Destination X comes back.
Chicago checking in, Buddha. Red Fox checking in. Star Fox checking in. About to storm the fucking Death Star out here. But Eric, what up? Brandon, I see you. Paul saying, KJ, happy birthday. He would have said hello to me 4 times already. Well, I'm so terribly sorry.
Oh, so sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry that me and Nick are not KJ.
Right. Garrett, what up? Tag team match will be interesting for sure. Samuel, I see you. Almighty Pop, Ring of Honor, so trash tonight. Well, thank you for keeping us updated on that. I'm glad that it's going the way it probably was going to go.
Oh, AJ Francis popped back up.
316
Moose in the back.
When Joseph, I think I got through pretty much everybody up there right now. We've all been acknowledged, and if you haven't been acknowledged, drop your name again and we'll acknowledge you again.
I did like 316's comment. We can talk about that in a commercial break about Busted Open. And
that's definitely gonna be a thing.
Oh, what's going on there?
Kaz drops the leg. Yeah, no, I think I can find 316s real quick. But we don't have to click on it, but there we go. So we got it. But yeah, that's interesting. WWE Radio coming soon.
And they're trying to convince us that nothing will change with Busted Open Radio, but we know it will.
Well, I don't think it will for different reasons, but we can talk about that.
We can talk about that.
Is lockdown the next? Yes, it is. It is. I had to look because it seems like they're setting up a lot of these tapings are setting up for that.
Yeah, so I think lockdown is like the end of August. I want to say around the 28th, and I actually believe that following Thursday is a live episode of TNA. So I need to look that up, but I'm like 99% sure.
No, I looked it up. I've got it of August 23rd is lockdown.
Okay, and I think that following Thursday is a live TNA.
I would assume so. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian pick up the win here.
All because of emotions, expressions.
Right.
Now, where are we going to continue with this? Like, are we, as now Expressions has the guitar, pulls off the Moose, do fucking something. You're right
Do
there.
something instead of standing up. There he goes. Ooh.
So is this how we're writing off Expressions? You've done your Albany tour and you're out of here, sir. Thank you for coming.
Exactly. Because this is the last New York tapings, Albany tapings. So yeah, you might be right. This is how we write him off.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, is he just on the pile of failed celebrity crossovers that TNA has done, respectfully?
He might be. But is he a celebrity? Because I ain't never heard of him. So
he is to some people, but I mean, it's probably the same people that were out here wondering who was Perez Hilton, who was Mama June.
That's true. That's true. I mean, was it Saturday night's main event where Neon was there? Who is Neon?
Yeah, Neon. An idiot ass streamer. I'm personally not a fan of Neon for other content creators that I watch and just the whole thing, but even to where he almost got thrown out because he didn't seem like he had permission to be there, and then sits there and lets Penta get shown, without the mask on a stream and everything like that. And it was the whole, well, they told the wrestlers one thing, they told him another thing. My thing that I've seen going around in the chat, you can let us know too, or anything. Should pro wrestling companies try and use pro wrestling content creators and pro wrestling streamers more than using outside streamers? Like, it's one thing, like how many people that watch Agent that just showed up at Beach Bash or anything like that, or a Neon or anything like that, any streamer that gets involved with pro wrestling, how many are going from watching him to watching pro wrestling versus people who already are fans of the product, who are already praising the product?
Yeah, I don't know how many new fans you're gonna get from sorry. From someone like Neon. I don't even know like what he does. Like what
he's one of those IRL streamers. That's what most of these people are, is they're IRL streamers.
What does IRL stand for?
In real life, as then they basically, they're like a Kai Cenat is an IRL streamer.
Okay. I do know of him. Okay.
Right. He's like the biggest, like how WWE has iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed is for the most part an IRL streamer. He streams just what he does daily, or he vlogs, that kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
He's not somebody that is playing a game, or like how we do it doing the watch parties and everything like that. Not something like that.
See, when I think of streamers, I'm thinking of like,
content
wrestling
creators.
Streamers, and I'm thinking of like, I'm thinking of game streamers. Like I watch a lot of guys who do Call of Duty streams and stuff like that. So I had no clue who Neon was. He showed up and I'm like, I don't know who that is. But I don't know who most celebrities are. But to get back to like, you froze for a second, Nick, but to get back to your original question, I don't know how many new eyes they're going to bring to the product. But if you get like some of the wrestling guys out there, the wrestling streamers out there, I mean, I feel like as much as I may not have liked some of the streamers that showed up on the first episode of Impact and don't even stream or watch Impact, like I do think those guys and gals brought eyes to the first episode of Impact on AMC.
I will say one thing, and then I want to say hi to a couple people, but I think it's also it's the celebrity issue even too, going back to all the other celebrities that were involved with Saturday Night's Main Event, and we've seen with WWE especially of that it's one thing to bring in celebrities that actually are fans of the product and actually want to get
Yeah.
behind it and get involved and feel invested versus people that are there. Like it's almost to the point, does a WWE celebrity showing up at a UFC event feel like it's putting the WWE celebrity over versus putting the UFC over? But like if an NBA player shows up at a WWE event, it feels like it's putting the WWE over versus putting over the NBA player. Like it feels like WWE is chasing celebrities to be like
Yeah.
the UFC, to be like the NBA of who's in attendance.
Yeah, and like you said, when you're talking about celebrities, if you're bringing in like I never know her real name, but I just call her Topanga from Boy Meets World. But we know she's a big celebrity who loves
He dressed
wrestling.
up as Danhausen when Danhausen wasn't even signed to AEW.
Exactly. Vanessa Ann Hutchins, she's a big WWE fan. So like I like seeing those celebrities who are in the product showing up on TV, but some of these other people, they're just there. And I know when it comes to Saturday Night Main Event, like that whole ending segment, everyone I've seen hated it. I didn't watch it, but I know people hated it.
Right, but I got the Order 4 out here right now, but let's wrap up, my guys. Shout out, appreciate you. Go check out my homie of what do any IRL streamers actually do, bro? Just exist because they're just so fucking cool. Don't you know how fucking cool they are? Like, no, I don't. It's never been for me. I'll admit I'm a self-admitted dork, but y'all seem to think I'm funny, so y'all here and we hang out together. Like, it's not one of those. I'm not special. It's one of those. No, if I'm actually trying to make content, like we come up with like show ideas and everything like that, like concepts. Like instead of just like, so wake up in the morning feeling like, oh, I can't say his name either.
No, you definitely can't say his name. But yeah, I mean, for like the three of us on this channel, we're just regular people. We all still work a 9-to-5 job. Like, still got to get up early, commute if we have to. Unlike me, I work from home. That's a great blessing. But but yeah, we don't have a big head like some of these other guys out here. But we are getting Wendy Chu. We are getting so we go.
The Lord taketh, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh us away.
What's up, Boston?
Keyshawn,
Wendy Chu has gotten a little bit thick since the last time.
No, she's been thick, my guy. This is the thing. Is I almost like Wendy Chu is Wendy Chu. That's what she's been. I'll admit is better. Is probably the best Wendy Chu she's been. But when Wendy Chu was out there snuffleupagus around and everything and just taking naps mid-match and all that, it lost me. Spooky Dookie Chu, no. I know that she was out there before with Xia Li and Boa was in that whole group with her to where she was their kind of, leader and everything. But there's something there, but it's not for me. It's not for me. It's the same thing. Elena Black, Cora Jade, who's her opponent. All of this is a big nothing.
Well, at least with the other match, you get Jada Stone.
Right. But we're not in that match yet. We're in this nothingness.
I actually think Wendy Chu might win this, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I was just trying to catch up on names or anything. Michael, I have the Hardys and the Righteous lost some of its steam as a feud goes. Been lost, been gained, been lost again.
Yeah, it's a stop and go situation with that feud because it started off hot and then it got cold, then it got hot again. And I don't want to say it's cold now, but it is lukewarm. I'll give it that. I'll say it's lukewarm now.
Fresh out the microwave.
Yeah.
Samuel, me and Nick, 1-on-1. In what?
Yeah. In what?
I'm here for my Lamore. No, shout out Samuel. The man's choosing to be my enemy tonight. Now, I know we normally do who do you think's going to win this match? Is nobody the favorite to win this match in the poll scenario?
I actually think Wendy Chu is going to win, and I'm not saying that to spite you, but either way, you don't like either of the two
Wasn't
women in
Elena
the
Black
ring.
kind of the favorite initially to win this new belt?
She was, but then they had that backstage confrontation last week with her and Zaya Brookside, which to me was like, maybe she doesn't win this tournament, and they give this match to Wendy Chu.
They give this whole tournament to Mara Sade.
Oh yeah, nice I think the final two is going to be M by Elegance versus Mara Sade. That's what I think it is
in there. So I'll give you that.
You gotta have Elegance in there.
Jason SU, Vance, and your favorite Nick here is Wendy Chu. Yeah. I'm keep sweating out here. My pick in this poll is nobody. Nobody. Can nobody win? I hope nobody wins.
Well, yeah, we can't get nobody to win. We got to have someone advance, I guess, right?
You just don't get a free buy. You can't get a winner by no opponent.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But this time around, we got to have a clear cut winner.
Well, Empire's got to figure out the clear cut decision on who Wendy Chu works for. Who does Wendy Chu work for? See, that's an Austin Powers reference you wouldn't get. But I'm so confused. Which company does Wendy Chu fight for? I am new to her. She was on WWE main event today. She's been in Evolve. She's been in NXT, and she's been in TNA. She's been here, there, and everywhere.
She's signed to WWE, but she's on TNA tonight. We still got that TNA WWE partnership going on.
Do you think that there's going to be anybody that re-signs from WWE to TNA?
That was in the release pool.
When we get to the commercial, we can go through the whole list, I guess, of the 23 releases. Is that their name of like the July 23rders or something? Like that whole crop of the free agent pool, the 23rd class.
I think so. The 23rd class. I like that. Boston, I think I acknowledged you earlier, but what's up?
No, he didn't acknowledge it because I clicked on him instead of you.
Okay. Samuel says Anth knows his TNA. I try. I know more recent TNA than anything. Recent within the past, like once you pull away this.
Sorry?
I was just saying recent as in 7 years.
Recent is in the past decade and still goes back to study it on the free time and everything.
That is true.
If you pull back the comment, your whole name is drawn out like the TNA lettering and everything. My God, you're an Elegance brand member. If there's a guy or gal out there more TNA that isn't in TNA, I'd like to meet him.
There might be somebody out there.
Do you have a clone?
Well, they used to say I look like Kyle Massey, so maybe that's my clone.
SW rules. Odell rules. I have to scream for Nick to click on. I clicked on you before he did. You son of a bitch.
He did. That is the truth, Boston. He did click on you before.
Trust me, we're trying to click on anything besides break down this Elena Black, Wendy Chu bare bones of a match. Hey, have you ever watched a wrestling match before? Just imagine. Everyone close your eyes right now and picture what a wrestling match would be. And like not a good one, but just your bare bones, bare necessities of the wrestling match. That's what's happening.
Yeah, this is like one of the only matches I'm not really excited for in the tournament. Like, it doesn't matter who wins; they're losing to M by Elegance in the next round. So that's kind of how I feel.
By the way, I guess thank you for whatever. When she showed up on TNA and comes back to NXT, she actually has a whole new attitude and everything, and actually seems like she's got a bit of that spunk about her again.
Yeah, I mean, even the match last week she had with what is her name? Harley Hudson. I mean, that was so good. That was really good. I went back and rewatched it. Rewatched the entire episode so I can make videos and clips. But yeah, it was so good between those two.
Right. Dennis, what up?
What's up, Dennis?
See, Sam's going through all his emotions with me. Nick, I hate but love you. Pause. Get this work. You won't get this work. From home hospital, give the beds out. But Yeah, so have you officially picked the Chew?
Yeah, I'm officially picking Wendy Chu.
Oh, this might actually have to be a commercial conversation.
It's
I
not.
haven't
I
watched
hated
this yet.
it. I hated it. I
Really?
turned it off. I turned it off. It wasn't for me. It was not for
Really?
me. I struggle with I struggle with movies that focus on one person. So I got an hour into it, and the majority of the hour was focused on one character. I had an issue with that with The Walking Dead. I struggled watching the episodes that were like focused on one character or two characters. It wasn't for me.
You didn't
That's
like
all
it
I have to
because
say.
hello everyone, my name is Markiplier.
Yeah, it was not for me.
I
I turned it off and watched The Conjuring for like the 70th time.
see that's the one that I don't like. I haven't watched Iron Lung yet. The missus want to watch it because A, it's a spooky movie, and B, because we watch gaming content creators and everything, and because she is one of those of hello everyone, my name is Markiplier. Why do you think she married me? I got the fucking deep voice like him too.
Yeah.
But she kind of wanted to watch it. We haven't watched it yet, so I don't know how I feel going into it now with your review.
Yeah, don't take my thoughts on it to not watch it. I also have a problem with like games being translated into movies, like doing it into movies. It doesn't work well for me. The only real movie that I liked outside of that would be Mortal Kombat and Halo, the Halo TV series. I thought they translated very well.
Dope. Yeah.
Yeah, but outside of that, I'm just not. And even like I like the first season of The Last of Us. The second season I stopped watching. So the games turning into movies and TV shows is just not my thing.
Fair enough. I haven't seen the Halo series, but I know the new Mortal Kombat's dope. Well,
Yeah.
also, I guess I'm not with you on the whole. I like that I can get behind like the solo-y kind of horror because like I like the Saw movies, especially like even the first ones. That's kind of it was focused on well, it was two people, but it's still super closed box. So yeah. As this match is still going on,
it's still going on. It heated up for a little bit too, but it is still going on. Oh, that was
short on the close.
Yeah,
there's twice now. She doesn't know spacing and or timing. There. Oh, belly to belly didn't look. Belly to belly.
That clothesline in that knee was not clean.
Well, no, it just looked like she got on her too fast, kind of thing. Of like, she didn't realize where she was.
No, yeah, you're right. It was a timing and spacing issue, like you said. But I'm surprised they're really giving them time. I shouldn't really be surprised because all of the knockouts tournament matches have been fairly long. It looks like Elena
DDT.
I didn't like that DDT. I'm not trying to be picky. I didn't like that DDT.
Come on, embrace the nitpicking. She's not a great in-ring talent. She still, to me, has never fully developed from even the NXT days. Wendy Chu, I guess the nicest thing I'm ever going to say about Wendy Chu is she can go as well as her dance partner, I feel. And this is the shittiest dance partner you could have given her.
Yeah, because if we look back at like Wendy Chu singles matches, like the one she had against Rosemary, I believe it was at Bound for Glory last year, was actually really decent. So you're onto something where like, you know, the second partner in the ring has to, but Wendy Chu is also still learning too. That's why she kind of went back to Evolve for a time being. And that was a nice superplex.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to get beat up, but is she still learning, or is it one of those more of just she can't ever get out of this? Because isn't she kind of a vet? Like example of how she can have the matches with like Rosemary and everything and still go.
I don't think that's a bad. Oh, they reached the time limit. Oh my God.
Nobody wins. Nobody wins. Fight over.
They reached the time limit. Nick called it.
Trash. Someone just fucking Carlos Silva got up out of his chair and said, "Stop the damn match."
So what happens? I know they reached a time limit.
Do you not have like an extra 5 more minutes? Oh, now Zaya Brookside all awkward. What?
So this is
stacking. Why do I dislike so many of the knockouts? They are stacking the fucking people in this division I hate.
So this was my thought process, because last week they had that confrontation, Zaya Brookside and Elena Black.
Did she miss her cue? Was she supposed to come out and get a disqualification? That looks so awkward and weird after a time limit draw.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens. So then Zaya just randomly comes out, misses like 5 attempts to grab her, takes her out on the outside.
Oh, we do know what happens. And by Elegance moves on to the semifinals.
Well, isn't that some elegance?
I'm not upset. I'm definitely not upset. You got what you wanted. You wanted a draw.
You can have that. That ain't what I'm mad at. Hands. Why did they shake hands? Brett and Sean of the shittiest. One day we'll face each other.
I can say, as much as that might have been convoluted, I'm definitely okay that Wendy Chu nor Elena Black advanced.
Like, everybody wants to act like I'm a hater. I'm like Thanos out here. Sometimes the hard decisions need to be made.
They could have shook hands. They could have hugged. They could have did whatever. None of them advanced, and I'm okay with it.
No. But no, let's. I saw this, and I'm waiting for the commercial, and then we can talk about that. Oh, well, we've got a box. We're
so we are doing the votes. People are supposed to vote for who becomes the number 1 contender to Mustafa Ali's title. So that was announced last week. Yeah, they're voting for the number 1 contender.
Mila giving Hotcha handy. Well, so we're running down the rest of the card. Should we talk about this at this point and everything?
I think so. I think we're heading into a commercial. So yeah, I think
mega mad that there was a fucking draw. Who did you want to win? Who did you want to win?
I picked Wendy Chu out of I didn't want Elena Black to win, and then they gave us none of them winning because Nick called it down from the heavens. So I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yes, as we're in commercial break. So let's talk about this. For those who don't know, it was announced today. It initially kind of seemed like some rumors, some gossip, and then became more official and solidified. La Greca's even announced it on their YouTube channel. So the Pro Wrestling 24/7 Sirius XM channel is about to become, I think, end of July or at some point here soon, of just WWE radio. So it'll have basically the commentary feed, what have you, the show feed, audio form of the Raws, the pay-per-views. It'll still have all your Busted Open shows, your Rosenbergs, everybody that, in my opinion, you wouldn't be upset if you found out, or you would just kind of feel like you knew it if you found out they were getting paid by WWE, that definitely have some sort of contract, some sort of deal or anything with WWE, or at least are in their favor.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I lost track.
I'm saying of everybody that still got kept on with WWE radio, of that they're going to have their own podcast, like they're going to have Cody's podcast out there, Steph's podcast, Takers, but they're going to keep everything Busted Open, everything Sam Roberts, everything Peter Rosenberg. Like I said, of a lot of people that you would expect to that either work for WWE or WWE favorable.
Yeah, they're sticking around. You're absolutely right. I think I think it's not really a concern. I don't listen to Busted Open frequently, but I do like listening to their takes about TNA and AEW and things of that sort. I don't think anything would change when it comes to like TNA because TNA has that partnership with WWE. I think that, they'll still talk about TNA, but when it comes to AEW, I don't see that being allowed with like WWE taking full control of this station on Sirius XM radio. I don't see it.
Well, you would probably still have some of that conversation. I don't know if you'd exactly have, and these are probably honestly not trying to say anything, but that aren't going to exactly always say the most favorable things about AEW to begin with and everything. So that are going to be mostly talking about what's going on with WWE. But you are going to like Coachman's got a show on there that's gone. Anything that isn't kind of in WWE's wheelhouse is out of there. But it also, to me, like I have a car that has the Sirius XM. I had the free trial for a little bit, and that was honestly one of the stations that I listened to the most was Pro Wrestling 24/7. But I'm somebody that listens to pro wrestling and talks pro wrestling 24/7. Having WWE radio, is that a little bit more like Disney radio? Like Band-Aid is now the name for adhesive bandage. WWE is the name for pro wrestling almost at this point.
I think so. I mean, I thought I thought it was kind of weird too because they just rebranded that station last year to do all pro wrestling. I think before it was like a mixed use kind of combat sport all type deal. But then
they had Busted Open, and then they they'd have their off-air moments and everything like that.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of just like weird to like change this whole thing to WWE. Now, I'm not like a big podcast listener. I really listen to Stevie Richards. I really like listening to him. I listen
actually. We know
Stevie. I don't listen to Walk Culture like other than their news. Like I listen to the Walk Culture news. So anything they bring up in the news world, I listen to that. But my mainstays is Stevie Richards, and I've gotten into Jeff Jarrett stuff recently because of the whole Dark Side of the Ring. But outside of that, I listen to clips of Busted Open, but not like I've never listened to an entire show. And truthfully, I'm on this channel and I'm not like a podcast listener. I'm on here, but I can't stand listening to podcasts for some reason.
Well, that's funny. See, I can listen to stuff as we're getting an ad for lockdown. I just can't listen to my own voice, which is funny because I talk a lot. But I listen to a fair amount and everything like that. Like I just enjoy it. It's whatever. But yeah, no, shout out Stevie. I entirely forgot there was something you brought up that I was going to talk about, but I got the system coming out right now.
Yeah, so we'll hear from the system tonight regarding Cedric Alexander's X Division title and who's next and what's next for him. I'm trying to recall like what I said that can jog your memory. I mentioned Stevie Richards.
Anybody that's watched us for a minute at times, it's very much the lazy Susan brain of it.
I mentioned Stevie Richards.
I got a couple diagnoses, and yeah.
But yeah, I just like I'm starting to a little bit more like listen to podcasts. I'm just trying to find like the right feel. And Stevie Richards just I feel like he breaks it down so well. And then I like Jeff Jarrett stuff.
Oh, that's what I was gonna thank you. That's actually what actually jogged my memory perfectly. But I like it because I like to even like people I don't like I want to gather as many opinions on stuff as I can. So I have the most, in my opinion, the most educated opinion on it. of at least let me take everything in, and then I can
Yeah.
disseminate the information from there and everything. Versus, because there's plenty of times where I've heard, like, even Stevie, like the whole um or is WWE reaching for celebrities versus other companies just allowing WWE celebrities on their platform? That's a Stevie thought that he brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, friend of the channel, Stevie. But no, with Dark Side of the Ring, I was going to say of we almost at some point need to have another moment of breakdown. Did you watch the latest episode of Dark Side? Of
I have
with
not. I have not. With
Oh,
Samoa Joe.
oh, you let me down. We had the dark side discussions before. I was waiting for, like the Are You
No, I
Afraid of
have
the Dark?
not.
The dark side discussions after the stream with Anthony and Big Nick out there. I was like, Tales from the Dark Side. Have you
No,
still
and
Joe
it's
and
on
Necro
YouTube.
Butcher?
And it's on YouTube for me to watch. I have not watched it yet.
Right there. Yeah, no, I'll watch
All right,
it.
so
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Brian Myers has the mic, and I believe he's talking about the dominance of the system, which they haven't really been dominant to me, but we'll see.
Well, are they like the Judgment Day, like to some people the Bloodline, like the Death Riders, if they've just and the beat goes on, but it like they've been going for so long that they need to kind of have something break them up or something.
Yeah, they need something. Like they're not on top anymore. They don't hold the titles or anything other than the X Division title. I think we need to have a disbandment of the system shortly, like real shortly.
Right. Well, and Taste, I'm agreeing with you with this, and I'll leave you with that as a step for a minute. But Stevie is one of those guys you can tell isn't trying to work you. Yes, is like I said, we've had Stevie in the chat and everything before. Stevie's actually one of those guys that he has nothing to really gain or anything. That he's not trying to work an angle or anything. He's just telling you what's actually going on.
Yeah, and he's not openly
breakdown of what went wrongs were some of the best stuff in wrestling content creation.
Yeah, and he's openly saying like, I'm not trying to work for WWE. I'm not trying to work for this company. I'm just trying to give you the lowdown of what's going on. And I feel like he breaks it down in a way for even for me, like sometimes I don't understand what these like stuff that Eric Bischoff says and things of that sort. But like I can listen to Stevie Richards and I like understand exactly what he's saying, where he's coming from, and how it makes sense. I don't get it. It's so good just listening.
Fair enough. Well, then I'll step away so you can find the spot to clip this, and we can send it to Stevie and all of that down here.
But as Nick steps away for a moment, the system the ring, and I think now I'm back. The system is in the ring. We got Ricky Sosa coming out here. I'm not sure what Ricky Sosa is about to say. So he's saying last week I lost against Bear Bronson. I think Ricky Sosa going after the X Division title would be cool. So Ricky Sosa says you can't keep the young Savage down. And he said the only reason that I lost was because Brian was on his side, which was the truth. So the system versus Ricky Sosa here is not a bad shout. It's not a bad story. I can get with this. And having him team with Leon Slater is really cool too. I can see like if Leon Slater does leave, we'll know in a few short months here. But like Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa holding the tag team titles before they before he leaves, if he does, I mean, I would be okay with that. But I'm gonna get back to the chat here. Samuel says Stevie Richard is old. He looks old. He does look old, but he's wise. He's definitely wise in what he has to say. Damien says bang bang Sosa is here. Ricky Sosa will be the person to break up the system. I think Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater are both trying to break up the system at this point. So it looks like we might get an impromptu tag team match with Ricky Sosa and Leon teaming up. Yeah, it seems like we're setting up an impromptu tag match. Oh, well, maybe not. So it's not happening tonight. It's happening next week. So I gotta figure that we still got two huge matches with the Hardy Compound Righteous Deletion match and the World Title match. But Russell Rance down here says you can tell he generally loves love for the business and actually intelligent. He breaks everything down to a T, and I'm pretty sure we're talking about Stevie Richards. That's why I like listening to him. He breaks everything down for you to understand, and he does it with another young guy. I can't think of his name. I like listening to him too, and I think he's based out of the UK. He has like a English accent. I like listening to him.
James Romero.
Thank you, Nick. James Romero.
Make sure we clip this so I can send this to them.
I'll try to clip it for us. I'll try to clip it. Spaz says, I'm ignoring you. Wait, Tony, stop ignoring my super chats. I'm a protest. I'm a send a tweet. What super chat? I don't know. I don't know. I might have missed it. There we go. Thank you, Nick. So a question for Tony, since it's Tony's night. How long before KC and Trey are in the Bound for Glory main event? Also, how they're gonna change Santana's name if they kept his music. His music says his name in it. The ocean is soup. Trey Miguel KC main event. Right now, I can definitely see Trey Miguel being in the main event of this year's Bound for Glory. If KC sticks around another year, which I don't see him going anywhere, I can see him being in the main event of Bound for Glory next year. Now, if they want to go a way of a triple threat, this year, I can definitely see Trey and KC being involved. But then you got to think of like guys like, will they put Moose back in the main event scene now that we don't have Santana? Will they throw Elijah in the main event scene? As long as they don't throw Frankie Kazarian in the main event scene. I don't know, but I can see Trey Miguel being in the Bound for Glory main event before Casey Navarro. When it goes to Santana, to me, it's more of WWE liking to own their own music. And like I said earlier, for Joe, because Joe sings his own theme song, does his own music, I don't feel like it's a problem for WWE to keep his theme song around. But for Jordan Grace, I know we talked about the sirens, but the rest of her music doesn't have sirens in it, so we could have just removed the sirens and been okay.
Well, some people call me a wrestling siren, but I'm back.
But I just feel like they're gonna change Santana's music. I feel it in my bones.
I don't think so. I think
I thought the same thing for
they used it on his debut.
Well, they used Jordan Grace's music on her debut, and then it changed later.
Have the same sound effect. I think it came down to sound effects.
I don't think it's going to be immediate. I just think down the line they're going to change his music. I just is inevitable for WWE not to change anybody's music. Who has came into WWE outside of Joe Hendry that they didn't change their music?
Who had
I'll
music
wait.
before? No, well, who had music before WWE? That's the thing.
What is his name? He's married to Chelsea Green.
Oh,
They changed his music coming back to some generic rock music when he was using
well, he's
down
also now Matt
straight.
Cardona. He's not Zack Ryder anymore. A different person. Different person.
But he
They
came in.
brought back Finn Balor's music. They brought back Finn Balor's music.
He left and changed to Matt Cardona, came back as Matt Cardona, and they still changed his music.
Bleh. Anthony, I'm curious, who do you think is going to be the face of TNA now that Santana is gone? I can't be Nemeth forever. Leon's too young. So I think Leon's going to be the next one out the door, respectfully.
I think it's going to be Ricky Sosa. I think they're going to build Ricky Sosa up. It's going to take a minute, but they also have people on the sidelines that can really step in as face. They're building up Casey Navarro. He had a really close relationship with Mike Santana. So I feel like there could have been some type of mentoring there before he walked out the door. And I also feel like Trey Miguel is someone that could be the face of the company too.
See, you said this to me earlier, and I'm gonna say it back to you now. Now I knew I liked you because you took the words right out of my mouth out there. You even said how I could see Trey Miguel being in a Bound for Glory main event before Casey Navarro. I think they could be in this year's main event of if you have potentially Casey beat Nemeth at Lockdown for the title. I know we've got the Hardy match coming up after this, challenging Nemeth at a taping. I don't think that's post Lockdown. So I think what we're going to see tonight from this match is going to set up the match for Lockdown.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what happens tonight sets up Lockdown. It's not post Lockdown with Jeff Hardy and Nick Nemeth. That's before. So something has to give within the next couple of weeks to set up our big world title match at Lockdown. Because I don't think they're gonna have Lockdown without a world title match.
Right. As we're reading off the ballots.
Okay.
So is it one of the hands that's the next challenger for Ali?
It is. It's Jason Hodge.
And Ali's laughing. He's laughing. Why are you laughing? You don't actually believe that you should be number one contender, right? Well, is the order 4 no more?
I mean, the way it looks, like right now, it could be. Jason Hodge doesn't look,
it seemed like it was worried that it was going to be that when we had the State of the Union address last week and everything, when we got Mila Moore and Miss Brooks out there. I think she's pretty much replacing Tasha Steelz in here. Agent Special 00. I don't know where he aligns because he doesn't speak, but yeah.
I mean, could he just be replacing everybody? Could like you said,
it's just him, Mila. It's Ali, Mila, and Agent Zero.
Right, and then it could be 3-man. I like that. Even though it's called Order 4, we go back to Order 3. But no.
Change the name. Okay, change the name. Are you married to the name? Are you married to the name?
No. I think you're right though. Unless they bring in someone like the New Day, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, we gotta that might even be if we don't get to it before the stream ends, that's going to be one of those post stream, stay after the credits of us breaking down at least of rapid fire at best of who goes where.
I think if you want to, we could talk about it now because I think this is a commercial break.
No, I've got the righteous, so we're getting.
This is the righteous. Never mind.
Yeah, I trust me. I'm like you. I thought it was like some Walking Dead commercial, but no, we're getting
That's
to the
what it looked
righteous
like.
deletion. But Tay-Sign, I'm going to star you just because that's a really good comment. If I can find your, there we go. I'll star you because of saying if TNA could actually lock down a talent, pun intended. But yeah.
Yeah. Definitely got to talk about that. That's something we could talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Well, there's a lot of things out here, especially when you're only here on the Thursdays, and the wrestling world's getting on wildfire mode right now.
Ah, man. It's always on a crazy mode.
Yeah, but we had the wildfires in California, we had the wildfires in Canada, and it feels like the IWC's on fucking wildfire too.
I think we may have a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico too. I think it's a lot of stuff going on.
Are you sure it's not the Gulf of somewhere else?
So while we're here on this righteous deletion match, earlier you mentioned that you had like a theory about some other people showing up or could show up.
Yeah, so then this goes into a bit of the free agents coming out and everything of I think we still maybe why it's not a tag team match is Hardy's calling for the deletion of the righteous lose and go away because this feud's kind of ran its course.
Yeah.
And then when we bring in some other people, it gets a little bit closer to October and everything. And you got about 3 months you could run with this. Of you get TNA's version as close as they can to what coulda, shoulda, woulda almost been the Wyatt Six. You know, and you can do it sans Wyatt. So you go away from having the tribute act moniker attached to it.
I like that. I do feel like some of the guys from the Wyatt Six will show up in TNA. I just have that strong feeling that is definitely a way you can do it. The next set of tapings starts next week, I think, and that's when all the agents are free. Am I correct? That's when
they're all free today. Free at last.
They're all free today.
Last. Oh Lord, free at last. That's why there might be some people that show up at Redemption. You mentioned some people, and there might be some
Motor City Machine Guns, the other tag team, the New Day could show up at Redemption.
AW sickos, don't you dare. So we're going through the righteous are going through the portal in the chicken coop. I'm not making this up, folks. This is the Hardy Compound stuff is the epitome of what you're watching when you say you're watching wrestling and a non-wrestling fan walks in.
Wait a minute, Nick. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
You're good.
But next week's episode of TNA apparently is live.
Well, let's go.
Because I was trying to look up the taping schedule because I thought it was next Friday and Saturday. But next week's episode of TNA is live, and then Friday they're having taping, so we could get one of those new signings on the live episode, if you know, if they want to. That's just
there you go. Well, like I said, we can go through the kind of list out here. As I was halfway wondering what golf course let the Hardys, put their logo in the center of it, but
exactly,
this is all out on the compound, which I know Matt and Jeff have made the money. Jeff's even been out there and saying, like, if I had lived a different life, I could have been bigger than John Cena. But this does look like they're kind of fighting at like the golf course next to the Motel 8. Like just a little bit. Like that's what I was saying of the compound stuff for me I get at times where it's worked and it's been fun, but it's just to me, it's the most like you're either a wrestling fan and you just fuck it, turn your brain off and just let it rain, or someone who doesn't watch pro wrestling, somebody that's tuning in because of the New York Knicks showing up at Saturday Night Main Event and watch this and what the fuck is this?
At least I can say, like, so far they're actually having. It feels like a mat. Well,
they teleported away. They just fucking disappeared.
As I was saying it, they teleported. As I was saying it.
As it's serious, as they're trying to, the serious moment of the righteous trying to hit them with an upside down boat is the Hardys teleported away, and now we've teleported again.
Looks like they're in a ring. Yeah.
Like the whole Broken Hardys thing was initially so bad it became good. It actually kind of almost got good. And then now this feels like we're in Sharknado 5 of they're just doing this because someone's gonna buy it, right?
Right. Is this actually going to turn into just an actual match? They do have a ref in the ring. If it stays this way, it might actually work out.
Well, no, because that'll be even worse than what we had with the Tainted Garden or whatever match it was that
the Wicked Garden match.
Yeah, well, remember when they sat there?
Wicked Garden match.
No, you liked when they stuck the fucking flower into Jeff Hardy's mouth
and he got poisoned
like a rabid dog. Boston, I'm sorry to anyone who enjoys this, but this is garbage. Well, this is right now just wrestling in your local VFW.
Right. In someone's local backyard.
Well, no, well, if you got a garage like that, shout out. But shout out becoming a member. Yep. Which also become a member today, folks. This year's fantasy football league is going to be only to the members and everything like that, just to make sure, we don't have anybody that's, drafting a team just to sit there and, we're just having some fun. It's not that serious. No money on the line. But yeah, it's going to be a members only exclusive in that way. Encourage you being a member. We give you all the bonuses out there. But yeah, become a member and shoot one of us a message or anything like that saying, give me the link and we got you.
Twist of fate.
If they really just end this way, because I'm waiting for the John Cena Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match to where they did some stuff in the ring and then they teleported again. You teleported once. Now why can't you teleport again? This is just quantum leap of pro wrestling.
Maybe.
Doctor Who. So Dutch and Matt going at it. This match feels awkward. Yeah. What do you think about Bayley leaving WWE to joining AEW? Remains to be seen.
We don't know yet, right? I mean, that's a big hot topic that's been coming out of Saturday night's main event.
As well as Zelina going to TNA, feels like that's catching some fucking spark to it.
Yeah, Zelina and I heard maybe Aleister Black. Someone said if Aleister Black signs to TNA, immediately push him to the main event scene, and I kind of agree. So,
absolutely. And now we went away. We
go
to commercial. So we fought off in the commercial.
We fought to commercial.
But with somebody like Malachi Black, I don't even know if I'd put him with this or anything. And shout out Zelina, have put up the super emotional video package and everything today.
Yeah. Having 9/11 up there and her losing her father, I was like, oh shoot.
Well, you pull that card out. That's no
right.
You're gonna gangbang on that, okay?
It's just like I'm already in an emotional state. Don't bring out any more emotions.
Right. Yeah, facts. But WWE Army, been a minute. Well, Tan Hut. WWE Army, your personal Army veteran, the both of you two American heroes. Tell me who's TNA's World Heavyweight Champion right now. Dolly, you Pitbull, Nick Nemeth.
Yes, Nick Nemeth. He's our TNA World Champion at the moment.
And this is, again, we talked about this, of kind of the issue with them being taint, of you have a match like tonight that would have been fantastic if I didn't know that you've already got other matches down the road with certain somebodies as champion, and B, this was taped. So if you were going to do something crazy, I would have heard about it by now because the internet can't help itself.
Yeah, which I was kind of surprised. They never really announced their taping matches beforehand. Like they do beforehand. I'll rephrase that. They do like maybe a week or so beforehand, but not like 3 weeks, because it was like right after these tapings they started announcing the matches for the next tapings, and I was kind of like, you're spoiling some of the things that's coming up, like Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth, which was kind of weird to me. But I don't know. I know everything is like changing backstage right now. We got fresh faces, fresh ideas.
They're in a state of flux. They're in a state of flux.
Yeah. And they're definitely in a state of flux. So it was a little weird for them to do that.
Well, and also we had talked about it with them, changing over who's in control of creative. They're not going to do that. Like, they're not going to instantly change course tomorrow. They're going to still kind of go to the end of the rope on that, and then they'll transition into what they're doing. They're not going to do the hard pivot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can tell like some of the changes that they've made. The shows, like at least the last 3 shows, felt a little bit more well paced, a little bit more consistent. I can definitely say that. But yeah, it's definitely not gonna change overnight.
Right. Well, speaking of someone who wants something to change overnight, Boston, Nick, where's my fantasy invite? I want the manager now. Well, how would you like me to send it to you, sir? August, methinks Boston. You gotta talk to what? Oh, when the draft is. Yes, that's when the draft is August 18th. I believe off the top of my head. We normally do a members only stream for the fantasy draft, all of that. Jason just send me FC. Let's see if we can get Anthony to have a team this year. I want to see Anthony have his team be the habitual line steppers.
I did fantasy football for a couple of years. I think the last 2 years I just kind of fell off because it's hard for me to play fantasy football and not watch football. So it was a little difficult for me. But I did win. I did win the first year I played. My brother was so pissed because he's all the football. And so I won the first 2 years of fantasy football, and he was so pissed. And I was like, see, I can just take my crown and go. I don't need to play this anymore. I've showed that I don't need football knowledge to win this. So
you come out here and you can even try your beginner's luck again out here. As we're back to the action with the righteous as we're going. Well, they're just showing the old Hardy's footage that if you've ever watched a Hardy's documentary before, you've seen this footage before.
You've seen it.
Now, is this going to be the reverse of what I thought of? Is this the end of the Hardys? They're doing all the kind of callbacks all the way through. So is this?
I mean, I know
the deletion of the Hardys.
I know the Hardys basically, or the righteous, I should say, like this is all for them. They did all of this for this moment. So I don't know. You may be on to something.
They wanted the broken Hardys to come out.
Exactly. Anonymous says, do you think the 6-sided ring? I think you're saying, do you think TNA should bring back the 6-sided ring? Who should TNA be built around, face side and villain side? Do I think TNA should bring back the 6-sided ring if it's safe for the wrestlers? I mean, it's 2026. I think they can figure out a way for it to be safe for the wrestlers now. I would love to see it because it makes TNA look different from everyone else like it did in the past. Face of TNA, I believe, is going to be Casey Navarro or Trey Miguel very soon. Villain, right now, they only got Nick Nemeth. Please don't. And AJ Francis. They got AJ Francis. I can give that to AJ Francis too.
So they're all now playing that they're drinking around the campfire.
Campfire, yeah.
Well, we had talked about with the dark side of the ring conversation when, like, even Eric Bischoff said there was no point to the 6-sided ring. I said, no,
Oh my
that's
god.
what separated them, and that's what made their action have to go
Stupid.
the whole time. I would like to see them maybe for a lockdown, for even
Destination
I don't think
X.
you could do it for just for that. I was going to say, I don't think you could do it for just a match. You'd have to do it for a full show.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be a bad thing. I get that it takes certain people have praised it, certain people have come out against it, like AJ, etc. But I think that there's definitely a benefit to them to tie back into that nostalgia, like they've done with bringing back Lockdown, Destination X. Lockdown hasn't been a show in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Destination X maybe a bit. Wait, why is he in a casket?
Well, this is again though like the Hardy compound. Oh, he's stuffing with his own.
He's
the poison flower, the dastardly daffodil, the dangerous daisy.
Yeah.
And now we're back in the ring so his kids can beat him up. So this is so I thought this was going to be a send-off for the Hardys. Like I said, this might be a killing of the righteous before they are reincarnated.
Is that Matt Hardy's wife in the ring too? I think so.
Remy?
Yeah. Oh.
What did it cost you?
Matt Hardy's daughter looking like the Annabelle doll.
This is like someone who watched Stranger Things and said, no, we have Stranger Things at home.
We have Stranger Things at home.
Literally.
Wait. Now he's like back to himself.
No, oh, for fuck's
Willow?
sake, I hate this show. Willow. The only Willow I recognize was out there on Wednesday cutting a promo with Tekla between Mick Foley. He looks like a shitty DC or Marvel comic villain.
With a Umaga shirt on. I first thought I saw
Umaga.
Yes. Oh.
I mean,
he's just kind of went berserk.
Well, this isn't exactly. This Willow isn't exactly terrible, but it's also. I remember all of the Willows before and the whole Willow saga and how I was weeping at the Willows. Oh, that's Dutch. I thought it was Paul Walterhausen drowning in the pool.
Oh,
Paul Walterhausen. He wouldn't have drowned. He would have swam.
Did we teleport again? Now is it Matt Hardy and?
No, it's Jeff and
Vincent. It's Jeff and
no,
Vincent.
Willow just teleported.
Exactly.
Low key, I lost track of fantasy baseball. I had too much going on. Fair enough. Well, that's why we do the footballs. We do the footballs and then the hockeys. Everything else is y'all do it right now.
I feel like between this Hardy compound match and the last couple ones they've had on TNA, this is the most they've actually wrestled in the match, and it not be a lot of antics.
They have specific tropes, like you have to use like Roman candles, like someone has to be a spooky character. Like the garage is used, like 5 minutes in a ring. There's like a bingo card you could check off with compound matches, which we've joked about for wrestling shows of doing like bingo cards of checking off to shit that you can predict happens. Oh,
What
they've
that?
got the
Oh,
holy amulet. There was a firefight. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
What is America this 4th of July?
Fireworks fight.
What is this camera? What the fuck? And Jeff's like, stop, it's over, stop. How do you determine who won that? They're going to throw them into the lake of reincarnation. What incarnation is a lake of reincarnation? See, this is the over-the-top stuff I'm talking about. I love the Hardys, but this is awful. It's like a bad horror parody. Oh, now he's been put. Matt's been poisoned. As Dutch just randomly recovered, by the way, from his poisoning. We didn't even acknowledge that.
But didn't I think Dutch teleported out of his poison.
That's how you get rid of the poison. You got to teleport.
I think so.
Yeah, so the righteous. This is going to even make less sense if the righteous win and it's not for the belts. They're going to throw him in the lake.
And it's the lake of reincarnation. Is that what you said?
Yes. Well, they're dragging him out. This is more of a baptism than them throwing it in it. But yeah. Oh, so they're putting the
poisonous flower in.
What is the name of the flower? So they instantly just in 10 seconds flat, they come out back as the goats. We didn't want to fight you in this form. We had to summon the goats. As Matt's beard has changed colors, by the way. He went from dyed beard to undyed.
Right. And
what
then
the fuck is this?
Jeff said to Matt, hell no, I'm not a goat, and ran back into the water. Oh, he brought his old
doing the different versions. Now, do we go to what was it? The Lethal Lockdown 2010 Jeff Hardy version? Does that one show up? Does Eric Bischoff and Sting have to show up? We've got a consumption. You either right now, respectfully, and chat, let us know. I don't even know if we know on this. You either love this or you hate this. There is no in between. Well, I don't even know because this is the most TNA. This is. Wait. We're gonna get a swanton.
About to hit a swanton off the top of that.
Shoulder. Then the rest just here now. So the Hardys win.
The Hardys win.
Mercifully, it is over. We'll do it. And so what was the whole benefit of Matt Hardy coming back as a goat? As now they're getting thrown in a lake of reincarnation. Is this they disappear until we get, catching fly.
Especially with it being called reincarnation.
Right.
Maybe.
We are forever. Yeah, so the righteous are written off. They've just they've ceased to be. They swim with the fishes. Luke Caprese swims with the fishes.
So I guess with we still got. I forgot we still had this match.
We got it now. We got 45 minutes.
Yeah, I still forgot we had this match. So I guess with this lake of reincarnation, I guess your theory of maybe them coming back as something else could be the case. I don't know. That was a lot. And I think because it was a lot, I'm going to take a pause here.
You won't do that. Trust me, I'm out here Krusty the Clown and everybody just, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Nick take the reins for a little bit here.
Yeah, I get to try and explain this. There we go. The TNA guy can't even explain the TNA action out there because it was just too much, too over the top out there. Like even Empire, TNA got so over creative that it made this match confusing. Was it too much of the inmates ran the asylum? Was it also even just simply that the feud had kind of ran its course before we even got the Wicked Garden match? We thought we were going to get a compound match before we got was it just a regular singles match, a regular tag match before, or even when they were trading the singles matches? We thought we were going to get the compound match. Now that we finally got it after the feud's already kind of died a death, now it just felt a bit awkward, and it wasn't paced really well. It was like they had the whole goat thing at the end that just felt super rushed. You had the thing with the Hardy compound stuff, the broken Hardy stuff, is it either lands or it doesn't. There is no real true in between. So that one, I think, was a big fucking swing and a whiff. I'm interested more of the righteous are written off. They cut something needed to change up that whole feud because they had done the dance far too many times. And now could you even do I'm going whole Marvel Cinematic Universe explaining plot holes kind of thing? Could you have done it to where the righteous wanted the broken Hardys so then they would be around the lake of reincarnation so they could be reincarnated and you could bring in the Wyatts and everything? We had thought that TNA at some point would have brought in a Cross, but he's been killing it in MLW. Could TNA, with the entire Wyatt Six, and with all the rumors around what the Wyatt family was in, or the Wyatt Six initially was supposed to be, and TNA does spooky well, could there be any possibility to where they bring in some iteration of it? I know that there's been already the talk of Samuel Shaw with Indy and all of that. Gacy's done all the stuff with GCW, which seems super dope. I actually am really excited for what Joe Gacy's done on the independents. Joe Gacy, much like I guess I'll tie it in the dark side stuff because I don't know if, well, Anthony said he didn't watch it, but much like the Necro Butcher Joe Hendry match or the Samoa Joe match, I had heard about Gacy on the independent scene or heard what he'd done, like knew that he had the respect behind him, but seeing this now it makes sense, and now I really want to see it. Of him and like a GCW really works, like GCW doing stuff with Atticus Cogar, doing stuff with a Joe Gacy. If they bring a couple other people, if they were to save and bring in say the Motor City Machine Guns sign with AEW, but they also work a match or two in GCW, I think could be really dope. I think seeing this talent that was not getting used proper in WWE. I get it sucks that you see talent that you're behind. Like you see your favorite player that's the third string wide receiver gets cut in the offseason, it gets traded. And, it sucks and it stings. But hey, now they got an opportunity to do something better out there. And we've seen it from all the way from Steve Macklin, who's now been a hot commodity out there, to where somebody can make themselves something outside of this release so Leon's talking Hotch out of changing the whole situation out here. Best pre-recorded match ever, Styles Taker. Sean, that's best cinematic match. Would it be that? That should be a list. I want to start that just to maybe that'll stay in the records out there of, because that's a really cool breakdown of like a top 5. Because that would be up there. Would The Firefly Funhouse match be up there. I know that for a while there, especially that's the thing is to go back through the 2020 era of all the cinematic matches and watch them would be really fun to do. I think of if someone could make a compilation. This is big ask out there. Someone make a compilation or something out there of, or a playlist, what have you, if possible, of all the cinematic matches that WWE's done. If AW, I don't. Well, AW had the Stadium Stampede, so how many do those fit in there? We don't need like an Invisible Stan versus an Invisible Man. But going back through and watching the cinematic matches would be super interesting. Just even on a personal level, it'd be like one of those. I'm a sucker for pain of which I might be with this match too, but just kind of seeing what was it because I still remember where they had the Viking Raiders out there in the trash compactor, I think, versus the New Day, where they're doing the Star Wars gimmick and everything. So going back through that would just be really fun, and that's why to me of it can still be shit, but it can still be entertaining in a shit way. Ronin into the lake of reincarnation they go. Wait, what the? Yeah. Jeff, my boy. Keon. This is so, yeah, it is. That's what you get with the Hardys. It is so over the top, which I do still like that TNA's got the video packages or the picture in picture in the corner. The in-entrance promo. Jade out here. Which shout out Jada actually showing love to Anthony's breakdown about the knockouts tournament in this match. I think exclusively. But yeah. Jada's somebody that I think like it was really cool to see actually Adam Brooks versus Will Ospreay. Because it's like, hey, if you've been watching it Thursdays, you know who Adam Brooks is and you're actually behind it. I want to see, and that's what I wanted to see a bit more with the knockouts tournament, like a Gabby Forza, etc. Of seeing TNA start to bring on and sign on these independent talents, these younger talents, like even with the KCs and the Trays conversation we've had. I want to see a bit more of the youth movement, see the freshen up, the spring cleaning of TNA out here a wee bit. Molded in your image, Carlos. This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen in wrestling. This is your first time watching a Hardy's compound match then. But yes, it's first time. But yeah, no, it was definitely of all the Titus O'Neil's, Shockface, the Crush of the Clowns, what the hell was that? Different about this match. Dolores, and the Righteous lose again. What is TNA doing? Are they written off for a moment in time? I feel until maybe you start to slow play it back in. That story, regardless on either side, needed a refresh. You needed a deep clean of that story. Jada right now in full control. So next week it's going to be round 2 of what was it? Thea versus Indy. Feels like an NXT match. Boston, I see you. Vance, finally some yum. Yeah, we haven't even had him out here too much out here, so we'll make up for the lost time.
Yums. Yums.
There you go. But Eddie catching Alicia as Jada up top. Crossbody on Eddie. I got kicked out. Of what? Of the snack world order. Was I not snacking enough? Did I, buy the wrong ramen or something? Why did I get kicked out? Keon, well, that whole ordeal. Yeah, that was a thing. That was go back to someone who's not a wrestling fan and try and explain that to them. Nick Anthony, shouldn't TNA be built around Mustafa Ali? I think that's another one that I think is going to be a world champ at some point. Does he drop the international belt, say to a Trey Miguel, so then he ends up challenging for the world belt against, say, a Casey in the main event and bringing Killer Cross. Would love to see Cross in TNA. That's where I think a lot of us kind of thought he might go once he was done. I don't know too many people had MLW pegged for him showing up, but thought, well, TNA D'Amore was out. They weren't going to go AEW because of Callis, but I mean, he's been killing in MLW. But I would love to see Cross in TNA, especially because we watch it every Thursday. But there's nothing saying, do we see a Bo Dallas? Where does does a Bo Dallas show up in TNA? And we do the Righteous Six. What faction name would you call the Wyatts and the Righteous actually finally paired up of what had been rumored and speculated of let TNA run wild with the spooky? I hope to never see another combat match again because that was a lot to take in. Yeah, they are. It's still funny of seeing almost, you can tell by the comments of people who have, that's their first time watching a compound match, or you've watched it before. Moonsault from Jada. She just fucking snapped down like a goddamn slinky. Trey, Nick, they have to get their talent to sign on for at least 2 years. Can't build a story for 6 months then. Yes and no. Yes and no. I get fully that they definitely need to have some talent completely signed in and locked in. To go. I think you'll see that with certain talent, like Mustafa Ali just re-signed, Trey Miguel re-signed. I think you're seeing that. It's not getting announced the same way, or getting discussed, I'd say, online, the same way as it is as a release. Like Sinner and Saints asked for their release, and all due respect, if you weren't a TNA fan, did you really know who Sinner and Saints were? Did you just see it because fucking Fightful, Observer, and PWI all sat there and put it out? So, Eddie screws up Jada. But, and I'm not maligning Sinner and Saint leaving, but that'll be a bigger story than Trey Miguel re-signing, than Mustafa Ali re-signing. They've been re-signing talent as Jada sneaks the win. Hallelujah. At least somebody who deserved to win got a win tonight in this knockouts tournament. The only person that I cheered for out of the 4 participants, Jada Stone gets the win, is now Alicia's beating on her after the match. I entirely forgot what I was talking about. The goddamn, I got excited about Jada and I lost my train of thought. About having certain talent side. That's where it was. Okay. But the talent that's not getting talked about as much of them re-signing talent, and then there is a shift in the direction of where TNA is going. And it's taking place. I get that there's the whole conversation. Everybody wants to sit there and poo-poo and foo-foo, or wanted to laugh at is so Indy versus Thea, M moves on, Jada versus Jody, and Sade versus Heather. So Anthony, you can get your M versus Emma in action on the finals there, Mara Sade. But everybody want to have their low TNA moment because everybody was leaving. But they're rebuilding very much through what they're doing. It was KC coming out, one of his idols. But this is something, like I said, you're not going to see the positivity exactly praised as much as the negativity as is social media. Speaking of positivity, yes.
And I got scared because I thought Alicia was about to win. I got so scared when Eddie Edwards got involved, and I was like, "Oh God, no! Please do not have Alicia Edwards win." Like, I like her, but no, this is Jada Stone.
And
But
it
to see
wasn't even me this time. It wasn't even me this time.
that was me. But Jada Stone versus Jody Threat should be fun. That was one that she actually commented on that video. Shout out Jada Stone, where I said I want to see her advance and face Jody Threat. So I'm glad we got that. I'm still happy M by Elegance got to advance because that match you said, I hope no one wins. No one wins. So we got
right.
that.
Well, see, there's your gimme of M's was showing you love too out there. She's the one that, dapped you in, pieced you into the Elegance brand and everything like that. She's your OG, triple OG in the Elegance brand. But so we can have M by Elegance take on Mara Sade and Mara wins.
Right. I think Mara is definitely going to win. As much as I would love Elegance to win, I think Mara Sade is going to win. Either one deserves it, but I want to see Mara Sade actually hold some gold, or I guess that's silver. That's a silver title in TNA. So
fair enough. It's a good looking title though, but Samuel, with all the gems out here, the sparkles and the 100s. I'm sorry, Nick. For what? I'm still trying to figure out how I got kicked out and let back in and kicked out again. I don't know what's going on, Sam, but we still appreciate you. The chats lately have been on absolute fire out here, and that's what we love to see. We've got almost 60 people kicking it with us. Let's see if we can still itchy scratchy that triple digits out here. TNA's that, Phoenix Rising. It's got all these nice little stories. But
yeah, they got some nice little stories out there. I hope they can. I saw Carlos tweet out while I was on my break that he was hoping for 300K this week. We can hope. We can hope, Carlos. We got close.
Well, yeah, Ant was rewriting the script, and I get that you're gonna have some people like your TNA fans are still the little brothers to the sicko fans of, oh really? That's it? 200,000, 300,000. We get that on a Collision every week when we air a Collision on Thursdays against you.
Yeah.
But TNA is very much having this new influx of talent, this new changeover on everything. It got brought up while you were on your pause, and I know we've talked about it. Does TNA really need to actually have some of those long-term talent locked in? Like an Ali, like a KC, like a Trey, like a Jada, like who does TNA need to actually have on those long-term contracts?
I think you just named them. You really just Mustafa Ali is a big one. Casey Navarro, Trey Miguel, Tasha Steeles, AJ Francis, Nick Nemeth. Like those are the guys you got to sign long term. I think we already know Moose is has the longest contract in TNA history.
He's on the Jericho deal.
Yeah, you got the Hardys that they've signed a long contract too. I would assume a long-ish contract, a year or two, I would say. But yeah, we definitely and I said this at the beginning of the year with the move to AMC, you have this backing with more money now that you have to use that money to sign talent for much longer. That hasn't happened yet, but I hope because even Steve Macklin brought it up, like they haven't restructured contracts or anything like that. So I think that's what they're gonna have to do in the future is figure out a way to do that.
Well, and I think like you've even said before with Nemeth winning the world title of he's somebody that's going to be there. That's kind of that transitional champion that you're going to know to the more regular like we talked about a bit with WWE radio of WWE is the Band-Aid to an adhesive bandage of pro wrestling. They're the brand that you think of. You don't think of cartoons, you think of Disney. With Nemeth being an ex-WWE guy, is he the transition guy to pass the torch to the TNA, the new, like we're going to see a new AJ Styles, a new Samoa Joe potentially form in TNA is what I hope. This is the new petri dish of pro wrestling.
Yeah, you got guys like Bronson. I was about to say Bronson Reed, but
He
I
can show
lost
up in
my train of
TNA.
thought.
Come
Bear
on.
Bronson. No, he cannot. Bear Bronson.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got someone that you can build there. Ricky Sosa, you got someone you can build there. Ricky Sosa, I think, has even said he wants to be like an AJ Styles for TNA. So it's definitely possible, but TNA has to put time and effort into these new young guys, and hopefully that's what they try to do in the future.
Well, is that what they're doing here with Hotch and what they're doing with Ali? I know we named off Navarro and Trey, and somebody in the chat pointed out, well, Ali is kind of a guy who should be the guy, and he absolutely is the guy that once he drops this belt, I think he's got world champion aspirations.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And if he's dropping that belt to Jason Hotch, it's not really a bad shout. Jason Hotch is someone that's up and coming, and a lot of the TNA faithfuls really like him. So I don't mind that happening, but I do want to see Mustafa Ali become TNA world champ in the near future.
He get completely screwed over by the other digits on the order 4 of Tasha and his brother, get involved and turn the tide.
Yeah, and it could turn into where the Great Hands and Tasha Steelz become their own group. And like you said earlier, the order 4 is just
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to, sorry, I didn't expect
I don't like that.
Here.
Yeah,
I saw him grab the shirt before while you're on your pause, but now I didn't realize it's the fucking Zigglypuff shirt.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I know like this has already been recorded, but it would be wild if KC won tonight. But we already know one of the matches that's happening in the future, unless they swerve us and he wins tonight.
Subject to change. Speaking of cards subject to change, I'm
exactly. Could be something like that. As Nick takes a pause here, a mini pause here, Bonkers down here says, as Nick Nemeth is coming out, when is Kylan King coming back from injury, or is she going to? She's still on the TNA roster page. From my understanding, Kylan King, while rehabbing, re-injured her knee, or whatever was injured before, she re-injured it. I believe it was her knee. And that's why her recovery has been so long. The last time Kylan King was mentioned was she won the award in 2023, at the end of 2023, to be the one to watch in 2024, and we're in 2026. So I don't know when Kylan King is coming back, if she, like you said, if she actually does come back. But she had some great matches with Trinity Naomi when she was there in TNA. She also had some she held the Knockouts tag team titles with Taylor Wilde, the Coven, which I kind of wish they would bring the Coven back, but I really liked the Coven when they were a tag team in TNA. But we got the introduction for the TNA World Title Match. KC Navarro, Nick Nemeth in the main event of Impact. I think when it comes to this match here, I think TNA has done a fairly good job to build up this feud within a couple of weeks between them. The crowd has really gotten behind KC Navarro too. And obviously Nick Nemeth is a household name and a name value. So this should be good. And they're gonna roughly give them about 20 minutes here. We've skipped you a few times. I know one of the comments we were going to come back to that you put out, Tay, but 5 matches for 2026 Bound for Glory you would book. I would have the Righteous somewhere in a tag team match for the world title. for the World Tag Team Championships. I don't know who they would be up against. Would it be the Hardys if they're still tag team champions? Could be the case. But one match I would put the Righteous in a tag team match for the titles. Depending on how long Nick Nemeth holds that title, if I was doing something really cool and really outlandish, Nick Nemeth versus Trey Miguel, if they can build something really cool between them, Nick Nemeth versus Trey Miguel, you can throw in Casey Navarro if you want to. You can also do I'm trying to do, because TNA is famous for doing heels versus heels, but I think for the Knockouts World title match, I think Xia Brookside is holding that title until Bound for Glory. I know they want Elena Black to be champion. I also know they want Indy Hartwell to be champion. I don't think Indy Hartwell is ready, nor Elena Black, but you won't know until you put those ladies in that space. So if I was going to choose, I would do Elena Black. No, I would do Indy Hartwell. I would do Indy Hartwell versus Xia Brookside, which is shocking because I really don't think Indy Hartwell is ready, but you don't know until you put someone in that spot. International championship match, depending on if Mustafa Ali is still holding that title. If not, a high money match for that would be Mustafa Ali versus Elisha. I really like those two together. I really like seeing those two in the ring, I should say. I don't think we've actually seen the match when they've faced against each other. So if you want like a brand new match between those two in TNA, I would do Elijah versus Mustafa Ali for the international title. The X Division title, I think they want Fabian Eichner to be X Division champion. I really think they want that. So if we were doing an X Division title match for Bound for Glory, we could do Ultimate X again. I don't know, Nick.
Eichner
now that you're back,
Cedric.
how do you?
Eichner versus Cedric. Trust me, I was literally going through this while you were answering the question. I was in the background of like, it feels like on one hand, some of these divisions are pretty shallow.
Yeah,
like there isn't a lot to pluck from,
especially with like the international championship picture. Like some of them bleed into the main event scene too.
Ali versus Navarro. Yeah, maybe for the world title. You do Trey versus an Eddie or something for the international, because the system is the system. When you're talking about the X Division, you do Cedric and Fabian. I think you're just about to do the Ultimate X, and you've done it. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't want to see Mr. Elegance or any nonsense get thrown there, or hometown man.
Please, no.
That's the thing, is those are the talent that are left to fill out the roster. That's why some of these free agents that are coming up, I really hope actually sign with TNA.
Yeah,
because whether it is a long term, whether it is a per appearance, what have you, business is business, and business is business. So I'm hoping they flesh out some of these divisions, because the talent pool with the amount of people that's left is getting thin.
Yeah, like adding like a Zelina Vega to the Knockouts division, a Zoe Stark
instant debut at Bound for Glory. Not exactly. In a match, but debuts there.
Zoe Starks, being in the Knockouts division. Dexter Loomis.
I love that idea. Really.
Instant with Dexter Loomis, if you could sign Dexter Loomis,
that's already been teased.
Yeah, that's someone who I really feel will show up next week. Is Dexter Loomis on the live episode?
Oh, that would be phenomenal. And that's the thing, is TNA is going to probably benefit the most. AEW is going to benefit because they're going to bring in like the New Day. All due respect, they're free next week. They're going to show up in AEW. We know that everybody, that's the worst kept secret, it feels like, in pro wrestling at this point. Motor City feels like probably, I don't know if they'd run it back in TNA. Everybody else feels like it's really interesting. Super Kick, one,
Super Kick,
two, late two.
that was a late two.
But also this is, I like this is student mentor. This is Casey. They pitched it of he's looked up to him of I know every move you're about to do.
Right. Sorry,
But
Nick Nemeth hit Navarro with a nasty a right hand.
But a lot of the other free agents, like a lot of the Wyatt Six, I'd like to see show up in TNA. TNA does spooky
Nikki Cross.
Zoe Starks, you mentioned her. Well, Nikki Cross, it's interesting because her and Damo just bought Progress.
Right.
So does she stay over there? Like Joe Gacy's doing stuff in GCW. I really like him over there. So it's where can he go and still do stuff over there? Zoe Starks, you mentioned. I love the idea of her in the Knockouts division because I think there's going to be a chunk of people that sign with TNA as their way to try and get back to WWE.
Yeah.
That's always just going to be a thing.
That's just going to be a thing. And even before the partnership, most people that come to TNA, they're trying to get back.
That
to
is the
WWE
show. That
regardless.
is the show.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, just to name a few. Mickie James,
Well, she's got marital status, but yeah.
Yes, she does have that now.
Oh, but fighting in the corner right now.
I like
this
how
is going to be a good match. I think we're going to run that. I think we're going to get this match a rematch at Lockdown. Navarro wins, and could you see an Ali versus Navarro at Bound for Glory?
You talk about a really fresh Bound for Glory matchup.
That's what I think. I think that's what is going to be a lot of the new TNA. You're about to see. We've talked about it. You're going to see the guys that became Samoa Joe. Wasn't Samoa Joe? He didn't just pop out Samoa Joe. He became Samoa Joe. AJ Styles became AJ Styles. I think in this new TNA we're about to see a lot of that same talent blossom into their positioning in the wrestling world.
Yeah. And then you freshen it up with some new faces so you can help the mid card, the undercard a little bit. You can really flesh out this show and it really could be something good.
All right. Frog Splash.
Oh, Frog Splash.
Well, even a Bear Bronson, say once the system breaks up, Bear Bronson could be a guy that's just a Bear's gonna you, Bear's gonna. I'm telling you, go back and go if you find the time. Watch the Dark Side of the Ring. Even though I get it's Sandy match may not be exactly your taste, a lot of blood, and everything. But one big takeaway I had of it is how unappreciated Samoa Joe's pro wrestling mind is, of little nuancey stuff that he's calling out, and I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense right there.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the newest episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I was actually waiting until the season finished because I really only wanted to see the TNA episodes live.
Well, aren't you?
But I'll watch the third episode because I know I saw a couple of people tweet about it and they were like that episode was heavy, the newest episode. So I kind of want to go see it.
So again, with every kind of Dark Side of the Ring season, as we are in commercial break right now, of how they'll do, like they did it. I think they even talked about it at one point, or somebody talked about it somewhere, of how like last year they did the Hell in the Cell match with Taker and Mick Foley, and it became a bit more of a Mick Foley piece than it became the Hell in a Cell piece.
Yeah,
this one's much more on Necro Butcher, than. Which I don't even know if I can get away with saying on YouTube, but fuck it, the show aired on YouTube. But it's a lot more on him, which I appreciate because I've known about him of being a wrestling nerd growing up in that era. But it was really cool to see what independent wrestling was like in that time frame and everything. Like it was such a nice little cool like snapshot of wrestling once upon a time that it was really cool.
Yeah,
It
I
was just
mean,
really fun. Like we had some heavy shit lately with
even with like
Unreal, with the other dark sides. This was some fun shit.
but even with Dark Side of the Ring, like I was telling my coworker, he had never watched Dark Side of the Ring. And I told him, I said, I've been watching the show since it first aired. And I said to him, I was like, even some of the episodes that I don't even know who the wrestlers are, they interest me, because I don't know the story. I don't know,
Right.
who this
You learn
wrestler
it.
is.
You
And you
learn it.
find, yeah, you learn it. Because he was telling me a bunch of episodes he wanted to watch, and I was like, dude, just go in order. And I said, because you're going to those episodes that you may not feel like are going to be good, they're definitely going to be good. Like the one with Abdullah the Butcher. Like I knew of Abdullah the Butcher. I knew he was a big presence in the wrestling space. But then when things started coming out in that episode of things he was doing, and I was like I got more interested in it because even though I didn't know, a lot of the stuff, it piques your interest.
Oh, absolutely. That is the stuff that I would say almost gains more wrestling fans than celebrity influences on
Yeah.
a show or anything. Because, like, the missus, who's literally over in the bedroom as I'm in the living room in my makeshift studio here or office, uh, to where she knows I'm watching all the wrestling. She hears me talk all the wrestling. She has no problem watching Unreal or something like that. Like she wanted to watch all 3 episodes. She watched the first part of the TNA episode of Dark Side of the Ring and couldn't wait to watch the rest of it and everything. So that's to me the stuff that will pull people who aren't wrestling fans into it, and it'll remind them of, hey, that shit's still going. And
Yeah.
oh, hey, and they still spin it in a modern day. Like every show of they reference AW and everyone's, oh, can you see if can you see them for it? No, it's modern pro wrestling. Jeff Jarrett's still involved. You can't change what is.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't change it. You're absolutely
But
right.
it's a good way, it's a great way, I think, to because certain people love those behind the scenes documentaries. They won't watch the sport, but they'll watch, all the behind the scenes, stories and everything. That's a good way to bring people in. Like I said, I still think it stands better than Tyrese Halliburton and a Jalen Brunson and a Saturday Night's Main Event standing in front of Seth Rollins to bring in wrestling fans. A picture in a hallway, a documentary out there explaining and showing some insight, but not fully pulling back the curtain does more to bring in a wrestling fan than a picture in a hallway.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're definitely right. I mean, I've even one of my old coworkers, when I was working at the credit union, she wasn't interested in wrestling. And I told
Right.
her, I said, go watch the Iron Claw. I said, go watch that
Yes.
movie and come back to work the next day and tell me what you think. And she came back to work the next day. She said, I sat there the entire time and I cried and I just bust out laughing. I was like, that story was heavy, wasn't it? And she was like, yeah, it was.
Right. Yeah. No, as I see Ken, I see Tay, and I see WWE Army shouting out Stevie again, all that. But no, as we're back in action, but absolutely, like I watched that movie in the movie theaters with the missus. We're both misty eyed and all of that. Like she cried and got all teary eyed with everything with Jeff Jarrett's wife when we watched Unreal, everything with Larry.
Yeah.
She was misty eyed. Like I said, that's the stuff that pulls people in more than, hey, I know that guy.
Right. No, absolutely. It's always been the emotion that captures people in wrestling.
It's what makes you love the art of pro wrestling.
Oh shoot.
Two go.
I don't know what he reversed that from. It was like he was doing a DDT, but he reversed that into like a face buster.
Right. I'm neutral, low bro. I like y'all. I like watching y'all making wrestling cool. That's what we appreciate, my guy. No, trust me, we're the WFU. We're the separatist movement out there from the IWC out there. We don't have tribalistic lines. And still, if you think that like your wrestling promotion is doing the best that it is, why are you gangbanging on the fact that it could be better?
Right.
Like either way, like why are you mad that it could be better?
Right. I mean, as much as I like TNA, I know TNA could do 100 things better. But it's all your personal. Oh, shoot. Nice power bomb. They're just pulling out some big moves to end this.
Easy could win it.
Yeah.
Do you think they could actually, because the TNA spoilers haven't been abundant? We haven't even done a whole no spoilers shout out campaign because they just aren't there anymore.
Right.
Could they actually sneak it? Like I know you thought with the tag matches, could they have snuck it of there's an actual change, but it never got out?
Exactly. Because like I haven't seen any spoilers at all. So this could be a change, and then they're like, Casey Navarro's the new world champion.
Trust me, if there were spoilers for the compound match, they would have said run, and they went from the Wyatts.
Oh shoot!
1,
Sunset
2. Oh, Famouser!
Oh, Famouser!
And I love seeing shit like that at times, to where it's not a botch, but it's one of those, it looks like they were hitting it in the heat of the moment. Like you don't land the perfect punch every fucking time. Sometimes you land some fucking sloppy hook.
Yeah. I mean, we're not perfect human beings. So sometimes we mess up, but sometimes the mess up looks oh, super kick out of nowhere.
1, 2.
Oh, he kicks out.
Everything with the actual solo line, I thought it was academic. The TNA commentary, are they slept on as the best commentary?
They are. And I'm not saying that because I enjoy
I'm not
TNA.
just a member, I'm a client.
I really like when Tom Hannafin was in WWE as Tom Phillips on commentary. I really became a fan of him then. So when he joined TNA, I was like, this is awesome. I get to hear his voice again every week. But I do think they're slept on. I think they're second to Michael Cole and is it who is it? Michael Cole and Corey Graves on Raw?
Well, it's Corey now. The best was when it was Michael and Pat, being honest.
Oh God, not Pat.
Yeah, well, he about to drop an album. He about to drop an album from the 99 to the 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey selling a knee. Code Red.
Oh, Code Red.
This is again though why Casey's. You the guy. He's gonna have it for a minute. He's gonna have the belt for a minute. Don't expect that he's gonna be on that Sammy shit.
I keep glancing at the time because I'm like, are we gonna get a new champ?
Yo!
Oh, he reversed it. That's it.
1, 2, 3. That was such a good fucking finish. That was such a good finish. That was. Oh, I need a post stream enhancer. I can't say what I was gonna say because YouTube and everything. But it's one of those. If that looks so good, if he was going for like the tilt-a-whirl cutter, gets tossed, pops up, boom, right into a zigzag. He was there by a what's hair. And almost had it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few moments like in here where Casey almost had it. But yeah, that ending sequence, it put it over the top. I like how he caused that move, the blessing in the skies.
A little opening and took advantage.
Yeah, and took it.
Sorry, I talked over you though.
No, you're fine. I was just saying I like how he caused that finishing move, blessing in disguise. Because there's nothing. Yeah, so yeah, it is live next week. So it's official live next week. That's great. It's been a minute since we had a live episode.
When did they start having TNA studios? Is Kevin Feige running TNA studios? Is Carlos Silva the Kevin Feige of TNA?
And they got more producers listed too. than usual. I'm glad that main event went the way it did because it rebound from that compound match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting till can we get a producer credit? How long till we get a producer credit? But no, that main event, the show was Rocky and not Balboa. It's funny I had Rocky 3 on AMC before TNA because that was Rocky no Balboa. Of the main event, the ending it was Monday Night Raw again. The ending was really great. You had some cool shit in the middle, started off interesting. You had this through line storyline that was questionable. But yeah,
yeah, they the main event, like you said, was really good. It was fun. I did like the opening tag team match. The Hardy compound match is just I don't think we ever expect anything for good to come from it.
We're
to
not
be honest,
wrong though in saying that they have done good. Like I saw so many people in the chat are like, you can tell if you've been in a compound match before, if you've been to the compound or not.
Right. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of this one. But the draw, I think we both didn't want either of the women to win. Right. So I'm not going to lie. I know it's never good to have like a match end on a draw, but for this case, I could care less about Wendy Chu.
And my elegance advances. You good. You won.
Elegance advances. I'm all right. So that was a 10 out of 10 for me, that moment alone. But I did enjoy it tonight. I think I gave last week a 7.5. I'm not there. That Hardy compound match kind of drained the energy for me, but good thing that we got that classic main event. I can give it a 7 this week.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where I am.
I'm definitely going to be tapping in, trying to tap in with the vibe out here 100%.
Hey.
And that's exactly what it is, the vibe out here. But yeah, there was some good, there was some bad. That compound match was down bad. And again, they've done compound match, like we've seen that gimmick work and we've seen it crash and burn. There is no real true in between with that.
The last one,
shit, did they crash?
Yeah. The last one they did with Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, I think that was the last one they did. I like that one. And I guess I was going in expecting something like that, but this one was just it was off base. When they got into the wrestling ring and it seemed like it was going to be a wrestling match, I was like, okay, maybe they can rebound, but then it kind of just got convoluted. I'm sorry, and crazy towards the end.
Have
so
the
I
Broken Hardys been the
that.
law of diminishing returns, though, of like the initial compound stuff was so abstract that it became like it was the abstract art of pro wrestling. You either had to enjoy it or hate it, and then it grew on you somehow, and then it became kind of a thing for a bit. And then like post WWE, which is weird because it all started in TNA and they brought it to WWE and it kind of worked. And maybe at some point we need to do a stream of go through all the cinematic, matches out there, because that was brought up, I think, when you were on a pause of there's been a lot of cinematic matches, especially throughout the 2020s WWE. They did a lot of that shit.
Yeah, there has been. I still think the best one was
really bad, but yeah.
I still feel like the best one was the Boneyard match with AJ Styles.
Well, when it's the Undertaker retirement, I think it gets a
bit. Well, we didn't know that. We didn't know that at the time it was airing.
He's only retired 3 times before then. He only retired versus Roman Reigns, essentially, and then he turned around and because that wasn't even good enough, he retired at Survivor Series.
But I mean, still though, you're thinking of the mindset that we went into that Boneyard match knowing it was his retirement match. We had to wait like a whole nother month or two when we got the last Ride show to know that was actually his retirement match. We didn't go in thinking it was his retirement match.
That was Mark
I was
Calloway's
supposed
show.
to be at that
wasn't the other
WrestleMania.
guy.
I'm gonna just
I
be
feel
honest.
like I went into that knowing that was the end.
Yeah, only you, Nick. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Nick
I
went
picked
it.
up that I am the one-on-ones. I am
that it was
Neo
his
in the
retirement
Matrix
match.
out here. I am Ricky
But yeah,
Sosa
I
defeating the
still-
system. I am the one in the one and one. But
yeah, just to go back to the original question, I think that was the best one. I did like the one, even though I don't like Cena. The one he did with Bray Wyatt, that was pretty cool. Yeah, the Fireflies Funhouse match. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's what I was getting at with. We've had some good compounds. We had the compounds with the Wyatts. We had it with the New Day, which wasn't good. Like it is you either hit a home run or you strike out on the compound. And boy, do they whiff. Like since they've gone back to TNA, the compound angle to me is run its course. It's gone too far.
We've had 3 since they've been back. I know of 2, like the one tonight and the one with Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth. I felt like they had one more too, but I can't remember.
Well, and even the feud had kind of ran its course, but of Wendy Chu, Elena Black, Hallelujah, nobody won.
Nobody won.
At least out of the 4 participants in the Knockouts tournament, the only person we all enjoyed won.
Yes.
Let's go, Jada Stone.
Jada Stone. But yeah, I mean, I that's it for TNA. I lost my train of thought. I had one other.
No, I was gonna just say we do take a rating out of 10 and everything of you kind of. I don't know if you had officially locked one in of. Like I said, to me, this compared a bit like to Raw, to where you had one through storyline of like you had Ali with the hands that ran the whole show. Yeah. Some shit was good, some shit was bad, but the way they ended the show was great. So how much does that weigh? Because that main event was the best thing. Was that I tuned in to watch that main event.
Yeah, that the main event was the best thing for tonight. I think I said I was locked in at a 7 for the entire show. That Hardy comp. That's what I was gonna say. That was my train of thought I lost.
There we go.
I lost a lot of entrants in the Hardy compound match earlier this week when it was changed from being the World Tag Team match. That was when I lost a lot of entrants. I wasn't as excited for it for the match tonight because I really thought if the titles were going to be on the line, they would give it to the Righteous. And when they backtracked it and said it wasn't for the titles, that's when I was like, I'm not feeling this. Can we just end this feud now? And it seems like that's what we did tonight. So
fair enough. And that's actually another thing though, too, is all the cinematics that you had with like Sting and Darby in AEW. Like I said, someone who has way more time on their hands than if I could make a pleasant request, make me a playlist. Matchmaker, make me a match of all the cinematic matches that are out there, because there was a good chunk in that like 2-year era of we're all Martin Scorsese of just it was all cinema.
No, you're right. You're definitely right.
Nick hates the Undertaker. Are you not in the Jeremy Borash camp? Do you not ride or die with your TNA brother in there, Jeremy Borash out there in AAA? You sick as the Undertaker get all the credit for that booking?
He is right. Yeah, he's helping book AAA with Taker, right? I mean, if he is, they're doing
Taker gets all the credit.
That's because Taker's the bigger name, right? So he's going to get all the credit regardless.
He's the guy in the dawn seat. Jeremy's doing all the actual work. Taker's the one just smoking in the accolades.
Right.
But Damien with a 7.5, Ronan 7.5, Eric 7, 6 out of 10 knee pads, 0 for 10 for Anthony. He needs knee pads. I way to no sell that comment. 7.5. I took points off. Would have been 8 for me if there wasn't a draw. No, that was some of the best booking of tonight. That was the best thing. That was Oh, grace from God. Blessing
Damien
from
is stuck on
God.
that draw. I know he's a big fan of Elena Black. I'm sorry, man, but yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry you're a big
okay.
fan of Elena Black.
We wanted that draw. I only picked Wendy Chu because I really thought we needed to have a winner because it's a tournament. And TNA said, no, we don't have to have a winner. Here's a draw.
That's when the Lord stuck his index finger and said, no, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at.
Mm-hmm.
Milo Moore is a fucking 10 out of 10 out of 10 a fucking 10. Calm down, Paul. Calm down. Down, boy. Down, boy. So maybe get a spray bottle.
Yeah, calm down. But we know she's a 10 out of 10. We definitely know she's a 10 out of 10. Especially after last week coming out the way she did.
She might be a 3 out of 3. Yeah.
A lot of people said the rating spiked just because she walked out.
I don't have a raised desk, but my desk raised. But yeah. Is Lone Survivor movie on for? Yes, I'm still on AMC and the show goes on, but I think Maglin and MS Motor City Machine Gun show up on Collusion next week since it's going head to head with Impact Live. That if that was a thing, then you can't deny that you're fucking with TNA at that point.
I've been saying it. It's
but
just
that is a blatant declaration of war.
And then Tony Khan has the nerve to come out and say something about WWE running Chicago just like they're running Chicago.
Yeah, they're predatory booking. They're predatory booking.
Yes, predatory booking. Like, shut up. You're doing the same thing to TNA. Shut up.
That's what a lot of people said. Well, they didn't do it until you started doing it to TNA. But
right,
I like predatory booking, and I just started going, "Get to the chopper, yeah." But
I do see MCMG definitely AEW. If they show back up in TNA, that'd be crazy. But I see them in AEW.
It'll be a bigger moment if they show back up in TNA. Respectfully,
it would be.
It'll be a seismic moment. That'll be like if that's a Bound for Glory moment. Holy shit, fuck. We've just had the best Bound for Glory probably in the last decade at minimum. I do think that Tony would do that weird little double entendre of, well, I've got Macklin, the veteran, and my Motor City machine guns, and this is a declaration of war against TNA kind of vibe of only he would pick up on doing something like that, but I could see
he would definitely do that, yeah. But I mean, after a while, I just feel like Macklin would be regulated to Ring of Honor.
Oh, he'd be in the Don Callis family?
I was just about to say that, or the Don Callis family. He'll be the 108th member of the Don Callis family.
The Down Bad family.
Yeah. It is what it is. I can't tell these wrestlers where to go. They have mouths to feed and lives to live. So it is what it is.
This man was so positive coming out of this stream and everything like that. And then we started talking about Macklin and Motor City showing up in AEW and everything, and just the mood.
I'm cool with MCMG like going to AEW, right? Because they've like did what they could in TNA. They've done a lot. They've held almost all the titles, right? But it would be cool, like you say. I feel like the bigger pop, the bigger moment would be them returning to TNA. Macklin, I don't have.
Is it because he's made the cuck chair a thing? I think we're long enough in the stream I can say this. Is it because he's made the cuck spot a thing?
I think so, maybe.
He's shown like actual disdain for TNA post that, which if that's part of the gimmick and everything, fucking fine, cool.
Yeah,
all the way for it. I also think it would be really interesting if he went to AEW when Deonna seems like she's done with AEW. Like they both seem like they want to just get the fuck out of both of them. Like they almost could go back to WWE if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and Deonna Purrazzo's like contract, I think, is up at the end of 2026. So it'd be interesting to see, where she goes. Does she go back to TNA? Does she try a WWE? Truthfully, I don't know. But we know she's not getting used where she's at. We don't see her very often at all.
I see her more on a Southern New Hampshire University ad than I do on any sort of AW programming.
I think if she goes anywhere, though, truthfully, I can see her going to MLP, with
really
Scott D'Amore and things of that sort.
That's still under the MyAW banner-ish.
They're just,
because it airs on there.
Yeah, it airs on there, but it's not like an official, Tony Khan owns MLP or anything like that. They just air on there. So, I mean,
yeah, he's just the guy that shows up with the pawns, the rooks, the bishops. He shows up with the whole chessboard. He doesn't own the chessboard. He just shows up with the whole chessboard. I think there might be things going on that aren't announced that they're going on.
Well, I don't think so. I watched Scott D'Amore's latest interview on the Ariel, however you pronounce his name. I don't know how to
Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like that or anything backstage behind the scenes partnership or anything. He just said he's grateful that he's given the opportunity to show MLP to the American audience, and he was grateful that Tony Khan gave him that moment. So I don't think outside of that, I don't think anything else is going on between those two companies.
Well, fair enough. I don't know if I need to end on this, but MDB threatening you with saying, Anthony, if you see Mr. Elegance in the corner of your bedroom tonight, it was me. I sent him. Sleep paralysis demon. I am a boy, Damon.
If you want to end on that, you can end on that. I don't have anything else to say.
Away, my guy.
I don't have anything else to say. I think we said a lot tonight.
7 out of 10. Yes, no, 100% of. It's been absolutely a fun TNA. And again, TNA seems like it's much more on an uptick. And again, you won't find it on the dirt sheets, but you always find it on the Wrestling for Life network.
That is true. And anytime anything like good comes out for TNA, you got to come here to hear it, because you're not going to hear it anywhere else, because they're not going to talk about it. Only LOL TNA. So
right. But our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, but put that for life with it.
See you tomorrow for SmackDown.